Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to this week's Monkey Nut Punch podcast with my effervescent co-host Keith. Say hello, Keith.
Hello.
Effervescent. Effervescent. So effervescent, it's unbelievable. Yes. So how are we doing? What's new in the world of Keith?
I got my new mic. I got my mic back, finally repaired. It had a dodgy wire. And look, now I sound better again. Now all the processing's done in the mic. Much better mic, this. I hadn't realised how much I paid for it. And then I went and looked up the warranty and went, oh shit, I paid quite a lot of money for that. I get that repaired.
Yeah.
So, yes. No, I got my mic back, so all is good. All is good in the world.
Yes.
Well, from that anyway. From the entertainment side of things, not so much. But I'm sure we'll get into it.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, there's. Did you see the clip of the guy in Star Wars Acolyte saying the time that Anakin Skywalker blew up the Death Star? And killed
the incredibly camp one that ended up annoying all of his co-stars to the point where he was told to shut up by one of them.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, he's a twat.
That was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good old.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so looking forward. I am so looking forward to the Acolyte. So looking forward to it.
I don't really don't want to watch. I don't even want to know it exists.
I haven't watched Doctor Who this week. Don't care about it. The Radio Times rated it as 2 stars. Even the wokest of woke things like Digital Spy have marked it at 2 stars this week. I mean, even when the woke don't like it, you know you're doing something wrong. So it says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah, it might have something to do with the fact that it's crap.
Oh, it is crap, and they are unable to hide that. You know, there comes a time where you just can't not say anything, and Star Wars is about to have that moment as well. Star Wars is about to have the same moment. 180 million. On how many episodes? 8 episodes, and are apparently 30 minutes long. I mean, this is the problem, right? Partly with Disney is there was a problem with The Mandalorian. The episodes were too short, and it's like, fuck's sake, put a 45-minute episode on. That's what we expect.
Things are getting more expensive and shorter, and it's like kind of. I'm struggling to see any value. I'll be honest with you.
The cast, it's like, I mean, some of the shit that the cast have come out with, it's kind of like Rings of Power all over again. Although not quite as bad as that really annoying English woman going on about the first female dwarf of color. Fuck off.
Yes.
Who's barely in it.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, we'll get into the news stories, but there is a rumor that the contract that Hugh Jackman signed with Marvel is for multiple movies.
Is it now?
Well, apparently Avengers Secret Wars, that very well might have Deadpool in it. And then by turn, Hugh Jackman as well.
Ah.
So, and the rumor is that it is going to have Robert Downey Jr. in it. So maybe somebody watched our stream last week, Gareth. But anyway,
No,
yes.
don't be silly. They're gonna fuck it up.
Well, we know Stephen Moffat. We used to watch it till we said he's gone woke and stupid.
He watched it until he stopped doing Doctor Who. He was getting tips from us.
Yeah,
which is annoying. So, but I've seen him in real life, and
I know you.
Yeah,
I know
twice actually.
But I don't know. Let's get into the news. Let's get the news out of the way because there's some good stories and bad stories.
You're far more optimistic than me. Let's see, Nigel.
Well,
Hi, this is Nigel, and I'm talking in my lovely narrator's voice. Bask in its loveliness. But don't bask for too long. We need your help. Come to YouTube and watch our videos for the love of God. Well, send Keith round to your next barbecue and he'll eat all your food. Toasty! You have been...
I felt like it. Right. So, bounding into comics. Kathleen Kennedy, Lucasfilm President, addressed the criticism faced by female cast, crew members of the upcoming Star Wars series, The Acolyte. She attributes the backlash to male-dominated fanbase rather than the content's focus on identity politics. Oh my word! Who thought that Disney would buy a male-centered brand and then have men criticize them? I'm shocked. I'm so shocked. Keith, how shocked are you?
I mean, attacking your customers again. I'm shocked because Disney have never done that.
I've never have they decided to attack their fan base, especially the men. That's the bit that gets me. They love the women, but they hate the men.
It's okay. It's okay. Because for every one toxic male fan that leaves Star Wars, 5 women will come along and watch it. They'll come for the diversity, for the gayness, for the acceptance, for everything. Don't worry. Star Wars is safe. It's fine. We'll just get rid of all the toxic male fan base, which, you know, is 99% of your fan base. But don't worry. Women are going to come and watch this for the diversity.
Well, let's just talk about the fucking 800-pound gorilla in the room with Leslie Headland being the personal assistant to fucking Harvey Weinstein, who was there when most of his...
no idea what was going.
Oh, she had no idea what was going on, and maybe she knows even more than what we've been let to know, and she got a big off payday through Star Wars, so that they could keep her quiet and keep her happy. Because at the moment, I'm looking at her. The only thing she's had any involvement in that I've seen is a thing called Russian Doll on Netflix. It was okay. It was a comedy, apparently. I didn't realize it was a comedy. I just thought it was like a quirky drama. Yeah. With the old kind of repeating time window sort of thing.
I mean, she was asked in an interview what color lightsaber you would have because, you know, they asked such original questions. And she said red. I was like, of course she would. Of course she's red. She goes, oh, I've always been dark side. Like, it's like this whole cool hip thing. No, you are dark side, love, but not for that reason. You're dark side because you knew exactly what Harvey Weinstein was up to. Because how couldn't you?
Yeah. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, I've seen the trailer and I have seen the screenshots and I have seen all the stuff around it. It looks garbage. It's like, how the fuck? What's the budget? You said before this was like $120 million an episode? Oh, 180 for 8 episodes of 30 minutes.
They're using the same technology they used on The Mandalorian with the, you know, the surround screen. But the problem is, in still shots, you can see it. You know, and it looked so cheap and awful. And again, so yeah, 180 million. Apparently, they're half an hour long episodes. Do you know what? Fuck this. Just bring Andor back and get that, you know, done over. You know, we're getting one more season of that. At least we might have some sort of partial quality TV there. But I mean, Kathleen Kennedy attacking the fans again. What a fucking shock. I mean, South Park was right. I mean, this is the thing. She is in league with. She is in the same league as Kanye West. You know, when South Park attacked him or took the piss out of him, what did he do? He did exactly what they took the piss out of him for. What's Kathleen Kennedy done? exactly what South Park took the piss out of her for. Double down on this bullshit and attack the fans. Well done. Well done, because this is way to go. Just way to go. If you want to destroy your thing, but who cares? Because whoever's dick she is sucking or whatever she's got on everybody, she's never going to get fired. and this is why Bob Iger and the whole of Disney, they deserve to go down in flames. They just deserve it because they're not learning from their mistakes. Their share prices are all-time low. Why? Because you're making shit TV and attacking your customers.
I love. Did you hear about Nelson Peltz?
What's he done?
So he's a guy who was trying to get some seats on the board so he could reverse the course and get some money out of Disney for the shareholders and whatnot. Anyway, because he didn't get his seat and his proxy battle was a failure, he cashed in all his shares and made like $1 billion worth of profit. Because the shares went up, because he looked like he was going to take over and they're going to make some money, and then he didn't, and then he sold them all and made a small fortune, which is great. It wasn't the victory that he wanted, but it was the victory I think he deserved. So well done for you for that. And I hope the funny thing is, if it craters again, he can buy them and still have money left over from the original, and just get them in a repeat position again and again and again.
It's going to crater. It's going to crater because she was out making these comments. You would have thought she would have learned. It was like, they've got all the fucking interviews around the Acolyte, and it's more of the same shit. It's more of the same shit that they've done before. It's all about inclusivity and thing, and people have just had enough of this bullshit. You've got this gay actor that knows absolutely nothing about Star Wars. That's really going to make him likable to the fans. You have that silly fucking bitch who goes, yes, at that accent just irritates beyond. Who knows nothing about Star Wars, right? You've got all the you've cast based upon diversity and fucking being queer, right? Rather than talent. And then you've got them out there spouting all this activism shit again, and you wonder why nobody's going to watch. You do not learn. They do not learn from their mistakes. They are doubling down on this bullshit, and they're going to lose. And Disney is going to go bankrupt. Good fucking riddance. Fuck off with you, because I have no goddamn sympathy for these people. That they are beyond dumb. I don't know how these people get out of bed in the morning and are able to look after themselves, because the level of dumbness and incompetency here is just beyond the power. And Kathleen Kennedy making headlines again for doing what? Attacking your fans. Whether you like it or not, Star Wars is a mostly male fan base, right? What's the problem with that? Every fucking fan base has toxic fans. The fact that she turned around and said, if you don't like this, you're an ist. Right? Fuck off, Kennedy.
I love the way that they talk about inclusivity and then they leave out the bulk of the audience.
Yes.
Let's be inclusive by ignoring part of our audience. Let's do this by ignoring, and it's just... It's money down the drain. I don't like it because it's just obviously stupid. That's the bit that gets me. It's obviously stupid.
Yeah. I mean, we all know what's her face. It's got what's her face in it, isn't it? Trinity. She's going to die in the first or second episode.
Yep. So 30 minutes of Trinity, and then a flashback, second to last episode. It's going to be. Do you know what you want to worry? My worry is that the Star Wars stuff's been so shit. This actually might be good. It's not going to be. It's not going to be. But there's a chance.
You've got.
It'd be that one where it'd be like kind of. Actually, it's quite good. So yeah.
I mean that interview you said with that guy was so stupid. I mean that guy is so dumb that again I think he needs some help. Because I mean the way he was behaving in that interview was just ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
And I actually laughed this week when I heard Kennedy saying, if you don't like this show, you're an ist kind of thing. When I heard this, I just started laughing. I just thought you're not going to learn. I mean, give it 10 years, history is going to judge her as one of the major players in the downfall of Disney.
Oh no, don't know if Civilization will be around in 10 years' time.
It should be the downfall of Disney. Should
Anyway,
be there.
let's move on. Let's move on to.
We were just discussing ideas of what to do with the new Prince Eric movie.
Put a chick in it, make her gay!
Well, that maybe we should go a different route than we did with Indiana Jones.
Fuck Indiana Jones, put a chick in it and make her...
Yep.
I had to. I couldn't find the shorter clip though. Zack Snyder's iconic film 300 was set to receive a prequel TV series. The original film debuted in 2006 and renowned for its stylistic portrayal of the Battle of Thermopylae and the memorable line, "This is Sparta." The prequel series is early in development with Snyder's to talk and direct and produce. It's going to be crap.
Well, 300 was quite a good movie.
Yeah, that was 2006, Keith.
Oh, yeah, good point.
It's 2006. We're in current year, and current year means that we can't have anything nice. So, it's going to be super gay, isn't it? It's going to be super gay.
It already was a bit gay.
It was a bit. It was no. It had homoerotic undertones, which it did very well, but it wasn't outly gay. Yeah,
True.
that's the thing with, and now it'll be outly gay. Before it was just under the surface, and it was like, those two were clearly, they were a thing. Michael Fassbender, I never knew. So you've got that. There are no details at the moment. Apparently, he's going to be doing it along with his wife, Deborah Singer. Snyder Singer, Deborah Singer.
Based upon his last output, you could be right. I mean, those Rebel Moon films are so bad, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But again, it's one of these things that you could watch purely for entertainment in how bad it is. Rebel Moon, a bit like that silly Jennifer Lopez movie, they're that bad that they're almost amusing. It's like watching car crash TV. You can't. You know it's shit. You know it's terrible. You know the dialogue is awful, but you can't quite tear yourself away from it. It's like, and I bet you it ends up being a bit like that.
See, I liked it. It was a very manly film. It did have kind of, it did have homoerotic undertones, but even with that, it was quite, testosterone fueled sort of thing.
Yes, it was.
But yeah, I don't know. Part of me is like, whenever I hear anything, it's like we talking about bringing Stargate back. Yeah. I'm terrified they bring Stargate back. They were talking about bringing Farscape back. I'm terrified that I bring Farscape back. I'm just terrified whenever they bring back something that I enjoyed in the past. I'm waiting for them to remake Casablanca. I'm waiting for them to remake the Battle of Britain, but with the Germans win because we were horrible colonizers. So that has to happen. I'm just, yeah. So it's, it depends. Also depends who you're going to get in it too. So if they attach someone who's actually creative. Sorry, Zack Snyder. Someone who's actually creative, yeah, who can write a script. Because remember, he did that work based off of the panels from the Frank Miller 300 comic, yeah, which made everything a bit more mythological. I'm going to say, yeah, which is fine. If he's going to do that, then that's fine. If he's going to do it so it's historical, and he gets some historical people in there, and some people who've written some historical kind of fiction off the back of it, might be good. But if it's just Zack Snyder on his own, I will lay any amount of money now that you can name and say it will be shit. And you know it will be. He can't do it he cannot do anything on his own. He really can't. He's incapable. Think about the Zack Snyder films that you like. There is someone else behind it. So, for example, the 300, you got the Frank Miller thing behind it. You got Frank Miller comic behind that. The remake of Dawn of the Dead, yeah, James Gunn, and I can't remember the other guy behind that. Yeah, like, look at what's the fucking one he did, which was the one where all the girls are in a mental hospital.
Oh, the trailer was amazing for that film. The film wasn't as good.
No, because he can't do it. He can do visuals, but he cannot do story. He cannot do actors. He's incapable. He can do. I would trust him in music videos and advertisement. Anything outside that is too much for him. He can't handle it. He's a fucking fruit.
Yeah,
I don't want to say fruit. He's just shit.
Oh, yeah, look, I never liked what he did in the DC universe, so I get it. Some people, look, there are hardened Zack Snyder fans out there. They do exist. They are in their number. I congratulate them for getting their version of the Snyder cut of,
which was shit, by the way.
It was shit.
I'm sorry.
It was. It was still a shit film, but it was still better than the original.
I thought the only thing that was better. The only thing that was better was the fact that you had the Cyclops, bloody cyborg story arc that was missing out of his. All they had to do is put that back into the other one, and it would have been fine. Seriously, you didn't have to do anything outside that.
I mean, I don't like the film that much, but I think I prefer the Snyder cut version of it than the other one.
It's got some just.
Yes, I know it's terrible. It's the same with Batman versus Superman. The director's cut is better than the original because it makes more sense. It's not a good film, but it makes more sense. Look, go on.
So, do you know what I find funny is that you've got that, what was it, Rebel Moon, yeah? Now, directors are beholden to the executive producers and the editors when it comes to cutting, yeah? Zack Snyder was in charge of the editing and he was an executive producer on Rebel Moon, but still somehow managed to have a director's cut.
Well, they haven't released the director's cut yet. Whether we see the director's cut.
We're getting it. They paid for it. They want the fucking money out of it.
Well, no, Netflix, so, yeah. I don't know. We'll see, because at the moment I'm not sure because there's meant to be a third Rebel Moon film, isn't there? I don't think it's going to get made, but you never know. It could be. There could be lots of people like me that watched it because it's car crash, so you never know. But I congratulate. I mean, I still say, look, there is a Snyder fan base out there, right? And they were strong enough and loud enough to get that Snyder cut of Justice League. So there are people out there. I don't know what fucking planet they're on, but they seem to like it. There are there are people that liked Snyder's version of the DC universe. I hated it. I thought Batman versus Superman was just a really bad film. And the motivation, well, your mother's mother, or my mother's mother too. Oh, we're friends now. Was just I mean, Deadpool just brilliantly summed that up. So, screw it. I mean, look, 300, if it's good, I'll watch it. 300 is probably one of the only Snyder films I actually genuinely quite like. So, and it's not particularly, it's still a bit of a dumb film, but it's less dumb than his other films, and it's kind of entertaining. And got that. This is Sparta. So yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Right. So let's go on to our next one, shall we? That one.
You're listening to the Monkey Nut Punch.
I haven't got the Sydney Sweeney video ready yet, I'm afraid. So, yeah. Sorry. My bad. And I know you probably put that up hoping I'd have it ready so we could play it.
I just saw it and I thought, right, well, there is some happy news this week.
So, Sydney Sweeney, known for her roles in HBO's Euphoria and the rom-com Anyone But You, is reportedly being considered for an upcoming Star Wars project. This is happy! This news generates significant buzz, especially amongst the fans on which the major franchise she might join next. It's going to be crap, Keith! Unless it's like Sydney Sweeney slave girl dance jabber thing. No!
I batted an eyelid on this because I think that a lot of people have realised that these sexist, horrible people out there who make up the majority of Hollywood's customers have kind of got behind Sydney Sweeney, partly because of the way she was, her reaction over Madam Web, and people have gone, actually, she's all right. The fact that she happens to be hot helps, but I don't think that's not the main reason that's made her popular. It is because of her old attitude towards that, and whether they care to admit it or not, all Hollywood studios are now watching the likes of Nerderotic and things. They have got their, because you can't deny it when you've got over 1 million subscribers out there. You can't deny that anymore. You can't deny that this is a niche part of the internet, because it's not.
No.
Right? So this story in some ways doesn't surprise me.
I was going to say, when the platforms are getting more views than your programs that you're putting out, and with less budget, yeah.
I think that Daisy Ridley movie's quietly being cancelled. Like the Obi-Wan and all the other movies were quietly cancelled. Some of these things have gone quiet again. There are no other Star Wars projects in the pipeline other than the Acolyte and Andor, and supposedly the Mandalorian movie. Again, that's gone quiet. I wonder why season 3 was shit. I think this is trying to get some people to go, maybe we'll watch Star Wars again. I think this is somebody who's actually probably got their brain on in the Disney marketing department, gone, she's popular amongst these people, let's announce her for a Star Wars film. Maybe they'll lay off us a bit. Not when you've got an idiotic cast out there doing the interviews for the Acolyte like that, no. But I'm going to go and watch this movie if she's in it.
It's funny because I don't think Daisy Ridley's never said anything stupid, has she?
Not really.
No. John Boyega, I think, may have said some stupid things, but not like towards Star Wars fans. Oscar Isaac's never said anything stupid. It's weird how I don't blame the cast of like The Force Awakens to the Rise of Skywalker trilogy. But they're still shit films, and I've got a feeling that I might feel the same towards Ms. Sweeney after this. Apparently, this was from a scooper called My Time to Shine on My Time to Shine H on Twitter. I'm going to say Twitter because I hate saying X because it's fucking stupid. I know he bought X, and I know that he's probably bought S, and he's probably bought E too, because Elon Musk's a giant man-child with $1 billion to do what he fucking pleases. Which is fine, because I think I'd be the same. But yeah, it's. But what is it gonna? What is she gonna be in that anyone's going to watch? Because I have checked out on Star Wars. Yeah, I went back and I watched the prequel things.
Yeah, but this
and I'm just looking at this going, what is it? The Rogue Squadron? Is she going to do the Rogue Squadron film?
She's all over Nerderotic keeps celebrating her, right? She's all over the Fandom Menace people's thing. They all celebrate her. And this is what makes me go, they are watching these videos, even if they claim not to. They are watching these videos. And because she's popular, somebody's gone, quick, let's put a rumor out there that she's going to be in a Star Wars movie. Then they might start talking favorably about it. Because again, these people live in a bubble, right? And they think by doing this, they think people are going to lay off them. I genuinely believe that, because I genuinely think these people live in a bubble and are just stupid, right? The people that run Hollywood are stupid. There's no other reason. They are stupid. So they've gone, Sydney Sweeney's really popular at the moment amongst all the people that hate us. Let's put her in a Star Wars movie and they might leave us alone.
Yeah.
Never going to happen.
I don't know. I think it's one of these things that you probably best to put it to rest. I would be going down the BioWare's Old Republic route and having a whole new trilogy away from the original Star Wars, because you've got quite a lot of stuff you can do in that. There's stories that people are very Nigel. Ask Nigel about the Old Republic. Yeah,
Ask me.
seriously,
I know. I love it.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, absolutely cannot get enough of it. Yeah, you could do something like that, and you could really kind of really start something new and something fresh, and you could put a bit of diversity in it, but you also could cater to the bloody fans for once. But it, it's bollocks, isn't it?
No, you're right. You're right. I found the story and it did make me smile because I think I genuinely think they are watching these videos, even as I said, and I think this is a reaction to one of them. But if she's in a Star Wars movie, I'd be interested. I personally don't think we're going to see any Star Wars movies anytime soon. The Acolyte is going to bomb, and it's going to bomb hard, right?
Oh,
I think when they choose to release Andor season 2, I hope it does well because it's really the only one that they've made that actually does deserve some credit. And I know it's not for everybody, but I generally liked Andor because it was new, fresh, and it was different. And it wasn't entirely shit. Yeah, but I know you're right. It's bollocks. It is bollocks.
it's all bollocks. It's just bollocks, Keith. Just get it's just have done with it. It's bollocks. All right. It's all.
What are we reviewing later, though?
Episode 3.
Exactly. It's not all bollocks.
All the new stuff is bollocks. All right. Let's
Agreed.
just let's do that. So next one. I need to actually update the Instagram thing. I've done that for a while. Director Guy Ritchie is set to develop a new Young Sherlock Holmes series for Amazon Prime, based on Andy Lane's book series. Hero finds Tiffin. Hero is that finds Tiffin? That's made me hungry now. I want some chocolate tiffin. Will star as the young detective, continuing collaboration with Guy Ritchie from the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. So, finds Tiffin. Heinz Tiffin. It sounds like Heinz Tiffin.
He was quite funny in that film.
So, yeah. Can we just get a Sherlock Holmes series? I'm done with it. Why not just get a Sherlock Holmes series and done with it? It's copyright free. Anyone can do a Sherlock Holmes series. Do me Sherlock Holmes. Don't give me young Sherlock Holmes. Give me Sherlock Holmes. You can do it. There's plenty of stories to plumb. You can adapt it. You could do like Sherlock Holmes in the 24th century if you really want. Something.
I enjoyed Ritchie's Robert Downey Jr. films. They're not. I enjoyed those films. Is it good timing now to bring back a proper Sherlock Holmes series again, based upon the thing? Maybe. Maybe. But you've got to find a charismatic actor that can do it.
So here's the one up. Guy Ritchie's doing it. Guy Ritchie did The Gentleman on Netflix. Good TV series. Think he can make a good TV series here because he kind of just wants to tell stories and just wants to get on with things. I think that's a good sign. But come on, guys.
I don't know. I think I'll give this a go. See, I grew up in the time of Jeremy what's his face? Yeah, it was Jeremy Irons as Sherlock Holmes, and I've never forgotten those ITV ones. They were brilliant.
Jeremy Irons.
I think it was Jeremy Irons, wasn't it? No,
it wasn't Jeremy Irons. It was ITV. I know him because
it was his brother. It's Irons. ITV
I
one.
have to look this up now.
But if they're going to do it, they've got to do it properly. You see, I thought you were going to say I want to see Sherlock season 5.
Jeremy Brett, his name was.
That was it, right?
Brett. Do you know what the weird thing is? He's my default version of Sherlock Holmes in my head.
Yes, me too.
I don't know why, because I can't remember
watching
it.
We're both about the same age. and both like Sherlock Holmes. And I remember him, and the guy that played. Well, there was two versions of Watson. I remember the latter actor more. We haven't had anything like that since then, so the timing is potentially there for a fresh, new version, but set in the original timeline and based upon the stories. They could do that again. They could, come back with the casebook of Sherlock Holmes and do those. And those first couple of Sherlock Holmes stories are great. But and you could open up with a Scandal in Bohemia, which is the very first Holmes story, not the first published one, but the first one, and then come in with the casebook. So yeah, you're right. The timing could be good. But the trouble is, you've got Sherlock in recent memory, and I again heard, we want a season 5 of that. It's like, well, season 4 wasn't that good. The way they are writing right now, I don't think they could write good stories.
I think the problem with season 4 is they undid Moriarty.
Yeah,
that's my big issue with season 4, because they undid Moriarty pretty much, which kind of pissed me right off, because I liked what's his name, Andrew
Lincoln.
Not Andrew Lincoln. That's
Andrew something.
Yeah, Andrew something. Andrew something. He did a great job. He's so good, I remember his surname. Because what they could have done with that is, if they wanted to bring back Moriarty, it was just very simply because Moriarty was an astronomer. Was he an astronomer or a physicist at some university? Could have just brought his father in, who was an astronomer, was a physicist, and just turn around and goes, he was running the family business. I let him do whatever he wanted. Sometimes he got a bit out of control. I'm not the same. I'm a bit more calculated. And then you could have gone from there, and you could have had Sherlock Holmes against someone who clearly outclassed him, rather than just a little bit mental, which I did enjoy. I'm not going to say I didn't enjoy it. But as I said before, the upside about this is the fact that Guy Ritchie's doing it. And we can have, and he's already proved himself that he can do me a decent TV series that I like, just me, no one else, I don't count, that people like. So I think that's a good thing. Anyway, let's move on to our next one. Enjoying the podcast so far? Why don't you give us a like on YouTube? Thanks. Do you know what my favourite? Right, hang on. I am right. Do you know what my favourite class is in Dungeons and Dragons that I think is just fucking pointless? It's the Bard. And one of the people most associated with Bard is Tom Bombadil, who was notably missing from the Lord of the Rings trilogy, which I'm so grateful for. Amazon Prime Video's The Rings of Power Season 2 will feature the introduction to the character Tom Bombadil, notable figure in J.R.R. Tolkien's novels, who did not appear in the Peter Jackson film adaptations. I don't like the way that Lord of the Rings is written as a book. The language is not. Yeah, it doesn't seem to quite flow the way I like it. And I'm not too keen on Mr. Bombadil as a character either, because reasons.
There's a lot of butthurt fans out there that he wasn't in the Peter Jackson films.
Because he was crap. Yeah. Peter Jackson.
He makes more sense in the books, but the books really do dwell on him for too long, and it really does. In film-wise, it would have ruined the pace of the film. And I understand why they cut him out. I just put this in here because, for those people that want to see Bombadil on screen, guess what? He's getting raped. I mean, put into the Rings of Power.
Dear.
Well, he's going to get... No.
He probably will.
Yeah, he probably will.
But
he'll be gay.
But done.
He'll have a husband.
Oh, he'll be gay, have a husband. Gandalf will be his husband.
Gandalf will be his husband, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. I'm pretty damn sure, and this is where my Tolkien knowledge does fail slightly. I don't think he was around at this point. But then neither were the hobbits and neither was Gandalf, and that hasn't stopped them. So fuck it, you know.
Making up shit as I go along.
I mean, the trailer for fucking Rings of Power season 2 is so bad, and I love how people have ripped the piss out of it. You know, when you see what's his face, Sauron, just with long elven hair, it's so obviously him.
I have not seen the trailer, but I have seen the memes.
It's dreadful. It's dreadful. It's so funny.
It's dreadful.
So funny. It's bad. You know.
There must be. This is the annoying thing. There are people who are Bombadil fans.
There is a movement out there. There is a movement out there, and look, I get it. I understand Jackson's reasons for not doing it
because of pacing and speed and just general keeping things interesting. I've just realised what that movement would be called: a bowel movement. Oh dear! Why are companies determined on wasting money? This is right. So, if you see, they call me Chato or Chato, whatever his name is,
Paul Chato.
Paul Chato, who's former TV executive, and he turns around and goes that streaming has ruined TV because of previously when you had syndication, you had to get a pilot. And then people had to approve on the pilot, and then you get a 22 order episode for syndication, and then you got past like 60 episodes, and then you could then start demanding more money.
You just reminded me of something, and I don't know why, but after we're done with the news, we need to have a conversation about fucking Dark Matter, because I've watched it. We need to have a conversation about this.
Oh, good, because it's on the list.
Yeah, I've watched it, and I need to have a conversation with you about this show, because there's something in there. Anyway, we'll talk about it in a minute.
All right. Anyway, that's anyway. It's gonna be shit. That's it. It's gonna be shit. I don't know why anyone's bothered with it. So, shall we go on to the comments, and then we'll have a little smat. So let's put music on. I love the fact that we hit this bit of music. So, hello downstairs. Hi guys, I saw a 4-hour YouTube video breaking down the Disney's Galactic Star Cruiser failure by Jenny Nicholson.
Here's the thing, right? You don't need a 4-hour video to know why it failed. It was
it's
Disney
obvious.
Star Wars, and they charged a fortune for it. That's why it failed.
All they had to do was just put the original Star Wars bits in there. And have a big Jabba the Hutt maybe at one point. Something a bit more exciting. Hi, Steve!
Hi.
Oh no, hang on a second. I think this actually is a thing.
It is a thing.
It's a thing. Is it a thing in the TV show or just a comment that was made? Please tell me it's not a thing in the TV show.
It is a thing in the TV series. But they are in law. They are in law. So it is a thing, but it's a thing that's been done before, and so. But yeah, it current era does make you cringe. It's like, oh look! They wanted to put a bit of Indiana Jones in there for you, make it fail even harder. Yes, it is. Yeah, it's real.
Fuck. So I have trouble with lightsabers because lightsabers are just chunks of plasma. But hey,
sabers are still cool. They might be completely useless in real life, but they are cool.
The Acolyte girl boss. No. Yeah.
All of most of the women in this are going to be irritating.
Yeah. This is a good one. Yeah, carry on.
I think even the one that played Weapon X, who was quite a talented talented actress, is going to also be really annoying in this. So, and she was the one that actually told that annoying gay guy that you were talking about to shut up.
Echo, fuck off. That worked. I don't know why it kicked off. I didn't say anything. Anyway, where were we? Yeah, I love that. That's a great comment. It's The Acolyte, a Star Wars show with no war. Yeah, true. So, R.I.P. Star Wars, 1977 to 2012. Suppose so. They all wear frocks anyway. That's the 300 he's talking about. We were saying about how they're going to make it gay. And they're going to make it... It's going to be gay. It's going to be a fucking musical, isn't it?
Well, that's what Agatha, the witch thing is going to be. So, yeah, probably.
Yeah, because science fiction fans and fantasy fans really love musicals. I referred to my Tom Bombadil comment earlier. Titanfall, the movie, or Atlas...
The viewers shrugged white. Yeah, they did shrug white a bit, but they also saw, her ass. And they went... It was a terrible film. It was actually funny.
I'm going to see if we can remake RoboJocks. Do you remember RoboJocks from the 80s?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I get it. I get it.
Hello, Aiden. Right. Now let's turn the music off. Right. So, one of the things I've got is we're going to talk about the Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, which I'm quite more positive on it than I was the first time around, which I thought was going to be the case. I'm still pissed off with a few bits in it which make no fucking sense. And there are some bits that were kind of drawn out and some bits that just production-wise didn't look good. Even if you put today's stuff in there, it still just looked fucking weird. And we were going to talk about Apple TV Plus's Dark Matter, which I've watched all the way up to.
So have I.
I watched on Wednesday. I was actually excited on Wednesday to have a bit of TV to watch, even though it's not the most exciting piece of TV to watch.
It's also really dumb. I got to the point where it got infuriatingly dumb, right?
All right.
I've got to say this, right? When he's knocked out, right, and sent to the other world, right? The people on that side know what he's built, right? They know he's built a box that can go to parallel universes. Yet it takes them 3 episodes to work out he's not the same fucking guy that went in the box. Please, how fucking dumb do you have to be? When he starts going on about his wife, that isn't that...
Yeah.
The cast is stupid.
Now, the thing is, do you know how to resolve that issue?
Please.
It's simple. You cut it down. It's 5 minutes. It's 5 minutes of him saying that and then going, what the fuck's going on? And then he escapes. And then it's like kind of, oh, clearly he's not the one.
It took him 3 episodes to work that out. Oh, he's lost his mind. The thought that it might be a parallel version of him didn't even cross their minds.
Yeah. But look past that. It did have the... I like it when we went to the universe where they had the bugs.
Yes.
That was cool. That reminded me of that. As actually from an episode of Sliders.
Yes.
Where they were talking about when they released a thing. It was literally just like a bit at the beginning. Yeah.
There's a few nods in there, right? There are a few little nods here and there and little Easter eggs. And I don't dislike it because I kind of like the actor that's playing the main guy. It's not entirely. I just got really annoyed with the alternative girlfriend and alternative boss who couldn't put 2 and 2 together and make 4, and that really took me out the show. It just shows up the dumbness of writing. I mean, I told you at the beginning, I watched Eric over the weekend with Benedict Cumberbatch, and there was something really stupid in that as well. And it's like, how dumb do you have to be to accept this? It's like, he's at work, right? This is no spoiler because you've seen it in the trailer. Kid goes missing, right? The wife calls him up at work, but never says, not once, our son's gone missing, right? She repeatedly calls him and he doesn't return the call. And she doesn't say anything until he comes home. Now, if your kid went missing, right, and you were trying to get a message to your wife, you would tell the person on the end of the phone, wouldn't you? Right? You wouldn't not say anything.
Hold on a second. This isn't the story of Flat Eric
No,
from the
no, it's
advert.
not the story of Flat Eric. No, it's actually quite dark.
Okay.
In places, but Benedict Cumberbatch is very good in it. But I mean, that again, it was just something so stupid, and this is the problem with a lot of modern TV. They think these writers don't live in the world, and that Apple TV, it really annoyed me. I mean, it got to the point where I'm literally shouting at the screen. How do you not know this?
As I said before, if you could trim it down to about 15 minutes. It makes more sense if it's happened quickly. Yeah, seriously, the pacing, because of the way it is, you cut that time out, it makes a bit more sense because they haven't had time to process it. They didn't realise they've had an incursion for all intents and purposes. They thought their guy had come back.
Yeah, and had that happened for the first 15, 20 minutes after he appears in that world, right, I would have accepted it. But he just went on and on. It's like, and they keep going, when he turns up at the house, after he escapes and he turns up at the house and she's there and he's going, it's all different. She still doesn't work it out. And it's like, really?
Do you know what the annoying thing is? The premise of him having to navigate through parallel worlds to get home was the bit that made me go, just hold on a bit longer, Gareth, because they'll get to that point where they'll start going through the parallel worlds and there'll be troubles with doing X, Y, and Z, and that's where it'll be interesting, yeah? You'll get to see what happens to the other guy in the other, his doppelganger, I call him, in the other realm, and this, that, and the other, and that's when it will get good, because that's where it's pointing to, and that's where it's going. Please, 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 you know, go that direction. So, it was, yeah, and it's like they're having to have the mental control because it's the little, because when you go into the quantum super state, your brain constructs how to picture reality, and then you have to control your mind in order to get back to the place that you want. I'd be looking for the planet of the Nymphomaniacs. Just saying.
Now that we've got to the point where they are traveling, it's got interesting. And it's now quite watchable. And I actually, was looking forward to the episode on Wednesday and watched it. And it was like, oh, okay, this is good now. But those first, Jesus Christ. And it literally had me shouting at the screen. And it's a shame because actually, I mean, this has got Counterpoint vibes. And I fucking loved that series. And this has got that, it's got some vibes from that. And I'm kind of enjoying this. I'm enjoying it now. But those first few episodes had me literally screaming at the TV. It's like, how fucking dumb are you? My wife's like, why are you so angry? You're a fucking dumb cow.
Yeah. Do you know what the worst? Right. This is the thing. All right. So this is a twist that I think is going to be in the story. Yeah. She's going to fall for him. Yeah, and because she falls for him, she doesn't want him to get home, and because she secretly doesn't want him to get home, he won't be able to go home, and he'll figure that out. That's what I think the twist is. If they're doing it right, she's because if you notice their relationship started getting more kind of personal, yeah, and it's like the bit where they're talking to each other. It's like, I find it amazing that you know so much about me and I know nothing about you, and she's like, I find it so much amazing that I know stuff about you but you know nothing about me, and we've been been together for like a year. We were together for like a year before you disappeared. I think that's going to be.
Wifey and son have figured out that something's weird with him.
He's an imposter.
Yeah.
I need the sus music.
So yeah. Look, as I said, the last couple of episodes were good. And I enjoyed the last couple of episodes. Just those first few episodes, I just found infuriating. But I kept it up. I kept it going through it. But I was so tempted to pick you up, text you, going, "This is fucking dumb."
Yeah. It's so the one character at the moment that's what do you call it? That's not part of it is the guy in charge of the project, because he's already spoke to Leighton Vance. Yeah. So you got the Leighton Vance from the Prime universe, I'm going to call it.
Yeah.
And he's been given now. my brain tells me he's been given these chemicals and stuff so he can disappear. So matey can get his latent advance and put him in place and do the swap out there. So then they can do all their bits. There's something about their universe that they haven't mentioned. There's something different about it. There's something there which they kind of hinted at that something was off. Yeah? In their universe.
Yes, you're right.
But they didn't say what.
But all the other ones that he's been to, we've had like a pandemic that's killing everybody. That was kind of brutal. In the last episode, and you, as you said, the bugs. Fuck. Yeah, that was quite good. I mean, they've got to change it up slightly in the next episode to keep it interesting. We can't just have another repetitive episode of him going to all these dark worlds. We've got to have something to take the story forward a bit. I think he's going to run into his counterpart at some point.
I think it's the other latent advance is the next part. The other latent advance is going to come through. He's going to go and get him. He's going to figure out he's there because he fucked off the moment he figured.
I think at some point we're going to get an entire episode of the backstory to developing the box because they always do that. So you get the other perspective. And I think we're gonna get that at some point. I mean, you know, they reveal a little bit more and a little bit more. Like, you know, you found out last week that they had twins. It wasn't just one; it was twins.
Yes. Oh! They're gonna find an evil version of the other kid, aren't they?
Yeah.
He's gonna be psychotic, and he's gonna follow them through.
It's going to be something.
They've got to do something like that. There's so much. The thing is I loved Sliders. Do you remember Sliders?
Yes.
He used to use his Motorola flip phone to travel parallel universes.
It's definitely got nods to Sliders. There was a counterpart nod in there as well. There was a little counterpart Easter egg in there. But yes, there were Sliders. There were Sliders nods in there as well. I mean, I am now enjoying it.
Yeah,
I am now enjoying it. It is something to look forward to, because there isn't much at the moment. We haven't got much in the way of new TV at the moment.
No, I watched all the Night Manager. It was okay. It wasn't as good as everyone made it out to be. The best bits were they were sneaking around. It was okay. It was all right. It's just the fact that Dubecki, or whatever her name is, the blonde woman in there, pretty much played the same part that she played in Tenet. Yeah, same character.
But she played her before, so I suppose you know this was before Tenet. So I really enjoyed it because I thought Hugh Laurie was really good in it. I actually thought Olivia Colman was really good in it. And it was the first time I went, that Hiddleston could be a good Bond. I still think he could be a good Bond.
I get that. It felt like a Spook spin-off, even though it's Le Carre. It could have been set in the Spooks universe alongside what's the other one? Slow Horses. That could also be set in the Spooks universe too. I love the way that they mixed up the things, but they called Thames House River House, because you're not allowed to depict Thames House on camera. You can with MI6 or the SIS building, but you're not allowed to with MI5. I found that amusing because they called it River House, which is such a fucking nod to Thames House. So yeah, I watched that. It was good. Wow, there were some bits in it that made me go, but it was good. I won't say it's bad. It didn't have anything boring or obnoxious in it. But it wasn't. Everyone kind of built it up a bit more than it should be.
Because at the time it was pretty good. And I watched it not that long ago, a couple of years ago, and I still enjoyed it. I mean, it's still better TV than a lot of the crap that we're getting now. So, although they're bringing this back, so they'll probably make that shit as well. It just seems that most people are incapable of making good TV at the moment.
Well,
So-
If it's off the back of a John le Carré novel, and they just follow the novel, should be fine.
I don't think,
Don't think they.
these are, because I don't think he ever continued the story of this character. But look, it does have Tom Hiddleston in it, and he is charismatic, and it does work. If they bring back that partnership with Olivia Colman, it could work.
Mm.
So, you know, I'll watch it and see if it's any good when it does come. Just like I'll probably end up watching The Boys season 4 as well, even though I'm not expecting a lot of that. But I do like some of the lines. I just find it. I'm a child, so every time he says "you cunts," it makes me laugh.
It's annoying because Billy Butcher and the guy who plays Homelander pretty much make the TV series. You take them out, and it's crap. That's why I didn't like Generation V. Well, actually, saying that, Homelander did turn up in Generation V, so that probably was, yeah.
He did at the end. Tragic that we won't get another season of that in some ways, because of the way we won't get another season of that. But you're right. I'm just trying to think if there's anything to look forward to, and I'm not sure. What we before we get into the third movie,
Slow
right,
march of eventual death.
before we get into episode 3, what are we going to do next? Are we going to do the originals? Because I'm not doing the sequels. I'm not doing The Last Jedi. I absolutely fucking refuse to do that.
I think. Oh God, what did I was going to say the Fast and Furious films. So my family. We'll have a discussion after, Keith. We'll figure out what we can go for after that. So, Revenge of the Sith. My biggest problem with Revenge of the Sith is all we had to do is put Darth Vader fighting some Jedi at the end for one fucking scene, and you would have won me. That's all I wanted. Yeah, I do appreciate the fact that he did really fuck Anakin Skywalker up on Mustafar when Obi-Wan Kenobi just really seriously just does him in. And I can understand why he thought he was dead too, more importantly.
I tell you what, having watched the Clone Wars, right, a lot of the characters that you see, especially at the beginning, make a lot more sense. And with them finally being able to complete the Clone Wars, so the Clone Wars final season, you get the build up to the opening of episode 3, right, in the Clone Wars. And all those scenes now just mean something completely different. But if you've never seen the Clone Wars, you don't have that, and it doesn't make as a meaningful impact. Because I mean, they dispatched Dooku quite early on, and I always remember going,
right,
he wasn't very much of a, you know.
So hang on a second. So I liked the Dooku fight.
Yes,
the Dooku fight. Yeah, that Dooku fight was much better than the one in Clone Wars.
Agreed.
Clone Wars is it's the worst of the three of them, I have to say. The more
it is.
I was bitching and moaning probably more about the Phantom Menace, but Clone Wars is clearly a much worse film. It has the shitter dialogue, the shitter special effects. The fight sequences aren't as good. That fight with Dooku and Anakin at the thing, I can understand why he beat him, and the way he put it together, it was quite good. And you could see the Ian McDermott's kind of manipulation of Anakin.
Yes.
It all made more sense, and it felt a bit more refined and a bit more measured.
It felt, but I still can't get over the Emperor has constipation scene when he turns him to the dark side. It's almost like he's trying to squeeze out a massive vlog where he's going, dark side. Seriously, I'm pretty damn sure he was trying to squeeze one out when he was filming that scene. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's still terrible.
I watched it and I didn't think it was as bad as it was. My thing is, did he always look like that and he managed to deceive everyone through some dark side magic? And then because it's like because he's been seen as it once, now he's like, Dorian Gray sort of thing.
I don't know. I mean, the scene when he's subtly manipulating Anakin when they're watching that weird bubble opera thing is actually a really good scene. It's like a really good scene because it's so subtle and it's so well done. And you know, again, you're right that the Yoda fight scene is way better, right?
I really enjoyed watching that thing. I enjoyed the fact that Yoda went, "Yeah, I'm out. Fuck this, I'm out of it."
But I love how he walks into the room, right, and he just like the red guards out the fucking way.
Yeah.
It's such a badass moment. And although I tell you what, I've never seen it, and I need to meme this. You know, at the beginning where R2 right gets fucking picked up by those battle droids, and he just squirts fucking oil all over them and sets them out. You needed a Thug Life moment with the glasses on R2 and after that. That is a meme waiting to happen. That one.
See, that's the one thing I didn't like, because R2 is not supposed to be that combative.
Oh, he's always been a fucking okay. He's not Chopper.
He's not. He's not Chopper. No, he's not. He's not Chopper.
But he's always been a bit of a side. Don't you remember, like when we were young, we were going to do a dubbed version of the Star Wars movie where we dubbed in.
And give him like a Cockney accent or something.
Yeah, we're going to have him swearing a lot because C3. Don't you talk to me like that? Fuck off, you cunt.
Yeah, because the idea was that R2D2 was working class.
Yes,
it was incredibly working class. Was the gag there?
To be honest, you're right, but I just thought that is a perfect Thug Life, meme with the glasses. And I can't believe no one's ever done it because that is a moment. But again, Order 66, having seen it in the Clone Wars and Star Wars Theory, I get why Star Wars Theory likes that, that moment. But the Clone Wars adds to this, and the thing is, I thought I was going to come back and feel the same way about this film as I did. I haven't watched this since I've seen the Clone Wars, and I feel very different about this now because I've seen the Clone Wars. And
all right,
because,
so is it better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it actually has that perspective, and actually I'm going to go back and watch the last 4 episodes of Clone Wars, the last season, because you have that whole Ahsoka journey that goes alongside this, and again, it's what sets Ahsoka up as such a good character and why she was totally abused in the TV series, because in those final 4 Clone Wars episodes are epic, right? And seeing Cody, in real Cody, he's a really important character, right? And he's one of the only true clone troopers that overcomes the programming, and he does it thanks to Ahsoka. And again, it's earned.
Right, that's one. Right, so the clone troopers being CGI pissed me off.
Yes.
You didn't have to have them CGI. And it's worse when you've got Tamara Morrison's head glued onto a load of them not looking right. That was one of the things that kind of pissed me off. The other one was the buzz droids. Yeah, you got these warheads. Yeah, you got these missiles that should be carrying warheads that then blow up. But no, they have fucking buzz droids in them. Rather than flying through a cloud of buzz droids that were just like left there, and they were just like, avoid the missiles. But it doesn't make any. No, it's bullshit. But I can look past those bits. What's it, Grievous? I kind of like Grievous more now. Now it's
you
like
should
kind
watch
of
him in the Clone Wars because he is a good bad guy. When I originally saw him in this, I didn't like him. Right? I didn't find him very interesting. Again, because of all that backstory you get in Clone Wars, you're like, okay. Right. And this time when Obi-Wan fucks him up, you're like, that's fucking all of Clone Wars, and it never happened. And he needed to get fucked up, and he got fucked up in this. So there was a whole just moment when that happens. And again, the whole Mustafa scene. Also, did you notice that most in this one, I noticed this, with the exception of the Viceroy, they changed all the accents of the trade drone.
Yes.
They did.
They're all American all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Yeah. I noticed that. But coming back to it, General Grievous was good. The it's annoying because when you got Yoda fighting, and what I liked about this is you didn't have the giant Death Star explosion at the end, which they seem to be fucking addicted to doing. You had the fight between Yoda and Sidious, and you had Obi-Wan and Anakin, and they started playing Field of Fate, but they didn't keep it going, which really irritated me. Because a bit, and it's just like, oh, go on, keep it going, because you're watching it, and it's like, wow. Do you know what the really funny thing is? Anakin did bring balance to the Force, because they wiped out all the Jedi, leaving 2, and they had 2 Sith left. Balance to the Force, which he did. Be careful what you wish for; it may come true. The Natalie Portman dying of broken heart, though. Oh, fuck me, no.
Oh, that was rubbish.
I don't know why.
That is the one thing in this film that still doesn't work. And it was he never worked out how to get rid of her. And she should have been killed off. She should have been killed off after giving birth and having sort of brought her up to a certain extent. It
should have just been complications in childbirth. You don't have preeclampsia or something.
Because again, in the film, Luke says to Leia, "Do you remember your mother?" And Leia says, famously, only little bits. Leia never would have remembered her because Leia didn't even see her. So it doesn't make sense. And this is the one thing that really never connected, right? And what Lucas should have done is have her on the run with maybe the daughter, and Luke was taken away, and maybe told that he had died. Maybe Yoda and Obi-Wan should have gone, look, give her one, and we'll put the other one. We'll move the other one away because for safety, right? And then somehow you could have seen her die later on. But she should have been killed. The character had earned that. And again, watching the Clone Wars and how her character really does come into herself, it was very stupid killing her off that way. In fact, it didn't do the character any justice. It's still dumb. It's still dumb, and you're absolutely right that it should have had Vader fucking some people up.
Right. If you're very clever, all you do is you get that bit from end of Rogue One, you paste it on the end, and you go some years later. It's got Darth Vader.
Well, no, I mean you could have just had Vader just walking it, go on some planet, landing on some planet that still had an outcropping of Jedi on it, and just wiping them all out. And then you've got fade to darkness, dun 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 dun, and then it goes into the Star Wars thing, or you then get flash forward to the Death Star plans being stolen or something like that would have worked. But you're right, we needed Vader. You see, this is what made that thing at Rogue One, why it's so damn good, is because you finally see a powered up Vader. And if you hadn't seen what Rebels, no one understood why Vader, and it's what failed so much in Obi-Wan as to why Vader was so fucking feared. We'd seen it, we'd read it in the books, we'd seen it in the comics, but we'd never seen it on screen. And to this day, Rebels still does the best job of standing on a fucking TIE fighter. It's still an epic scene. And this is the thing, Rebels was a kid's cartoon, but it had its moments, and it had some seriously awesome moments. Season 2 with Vader in it, you get it. And if you like that scene at the end of the Rogue One, you have to watch Season 2 of Rebels. You do. And again, final season of Clone Wars, last 4 episodes, watch them. It will change your, if you didn't like episode 3, it will change your attitude towards this film. And it has me. I genuinely, the scene where Anakin turns, it still annoys me. That was bad direction. Ian Dermott sounded like he was constipated. It just does not work. It was badly directed. Wrong scene. Not badly acted, but that was on the director going, no, it's not right. You need to do it this way. The bit where he dispatches Samuel L. Jackson's character again was. This is the thing. The Jedi he became too arrogant, and it shows it. So yeah, Anakin does bring balance to the Force because the Jedi had become too arrogant.
They had.
And
Right, so he's right. So one of the things was him flipping over to the dark side a little too easy. Yeah, I don't think that's the case because I think he'd been wanting to get medieval on people's asses for ages, ever since the Sand People in
Clone Wars gives you that because again, in season 6 where they screw over Ahsoka. And it makes Anakin very angry. And he carries that into when he kills Dooku. And again, when he kills Dooku, I always felt that was a bit too early and it didn't really make that much sense.
Mm-hmm.
Clone Wars explains that. And the history with him and his Padawan. And again, the one scene that I liked in Ahsoka, and the reason I liked it was because of Clone Wars, was when she sees him in the whatever world, the world beyond, and she sees him, and they have that conversation and that fight. There is an emotion there. And it's why Hayden Christensen is actually a good actor, and it has completely redeemed him. Because it's the one good scene in that crappy TV series. It's the one good scene. And it's only because I'm a Clone Wars fan that it made me feel something. And I liked that. And again, knowing that, and then watching this again, it was bittersweet. It was a harder pill to swallow this time. But that's not that. A lot of that is on the fact that Dave Filoni did this and made it make sense. This is again why it's so annoying that he's drunk from the fucking woke cup and has become an idiot. Because when he was on fire, he created really good Star Wars, and he made Episode 3 good because of all the stuff around it. I appreciated this a lot more this time round.
Yeah,
I was surprised how much I did.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It felt a bit more restrained in places. Someone must have been saying, George, knock it. It's the third, last and final one. Make sure it's not shit, for fuck's sake. Yeah, someone from Fox or someone somewhere did it. The Order 66 thing made me laugh because in my head I heard execute Order 66 and then I heard we're gonna need a montage.
But it's
I just had the montage music playing in my head as they're wiping out all the things, and it's like kind of
again the death of those characters, especially the girl with the green thingy. She's a character in Clone Wars. The old guy that runs forward, and then he has
built
some really good stories, and again. That one got me today because I really like his character in Clone Wars, and this got me today. Samuel L. Jackson, it was kind of a bit, you're cool, I love you, Sam. Yeah, kind of deserved that.
What do you call it? I think not watching Clone Wars, I think out of all the Jedi that copped it, he got it the worst because it's just when he looks, the actor that sold it really well. When he just looked back and went, oh, I'm fucked. That was it. Just in a look. Didn't say anything. Just looked back and went, oh, I'm fucked. I was expecting everyone to be following me and no one is. And I feel a bit lonely and stupid and now I'm about to die. Which I think it was, you could see that as being sad. The Twi'leks woman, the green person, she just like fell over. It wasn't. I know you from your perspective, but from my perspective, I watched it. She just went.
Oh no! It never meant anything. It never meant anything until the backstories. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it changed my perspective on it. But again, if I'm being completely dispassionate, yes, it's better than the second one, but it's far from perfect. But because of all the surrounding material that's now come out, the Clone Wars, Rebels, everything around that, Fallen Order, the first one.
Yeah.
And the scenes in that, it all adds up to that, and therefore it's different. And when he marches on the temple again, and yeah, look, the Yoda fight scene is just fucking badass.
Right. So you always, because you always harp on about the one from Clone Wars.
No, I say it's iconic.
Shit.
I don't say it's shit, and I stand by the fact that it is an iconic moment, but it's not the best. This is way better. This is way better. I love the way he announces himself. I remember watching this and just going, yes. When Yoda walks up to these two guys just get knocked the fuck out, and like Sidious goes like that at him, like Yoda gets up, brushes himself off, and fucking goes in. It's like
I just love the bit where he's got the bit where he's like, his hands on the fucking pod or whatever it is, and he slides down, and he just goes, I can't fucking win this. But you can see it. They do a good animation with him. I can't win this. Something about it seemed like, because it's always, you have to be worried about when you're doing CGI and stuff, that it doesn't have any weight. You know what I mean when I say weight? Like when like Thor's hammer is supposed to feel weighty, but it's a foam prop for all intents and purposes. And
I agree with everything you say about that scene in episode 2. I do agree with you. The only reason I was saying is it's iconic is because I remember the way I felt the first time I saw that. Having seen episode 3, it is way cooler than when he walks into the thing and knocks the fuck out of those two red guards, and he just fucking brushes them aside. That is actually far more powerful. And having watched this again, I agree with you even more what you'll say, but you can't take away from the fact that is the first time you ever see Yoda with a lightsaber after all these years of being told how he's this amazing Jedi master. You finally got to see it on screen, and that's what made it iconic. Not the fact that it's a good fight, because it's a rubbish fight. This is way better, way better. Yeah. But it is iconic, that moment. It's an iconic Star Wars moment. That's the thing. This is better though.
Oh, dude, it's the bit where it's like he throws the pod down at him and he sends it up to him spinning, and then Sidious looks down and goes, "Oh, he's got a bit tricky there," and it's done really well. But there, I do appreciate this one far more than I did when I first saw it.
Agreed.
And I'm quite glad I went back and rewatched it, because I'll be honest with you, it feels like fucking night and day to the other two films.
Again,
it really does.
Agreed.
I don't know what fucking George Lucas was on for the first two films, but whatever he was on for the third film, he should have done for the first two films. And it's just, it was, it felt well. I like the fact that you didn't have the bloody giant fucking Death Star style explosion at the end, and it came down to two jewels. Yeah, and it's ironic because they were jewels of fate. Just saying, music could have had that running all the way through. And it was done really well. There's a bit where they're on the lava flow and they're on the little floaty. That looks shite. Sorry.
Yeah.
That looks shite.
But
they're fighting in the... Yeah, go on.
But it is brutal, though. That after that, it is brutal.
And do you know what the really good thing is? Is they set it up so clearly you see that Anakin is a fantastic fucking lightsaber fighter right at the beginning, lightsaber duelist right at the beginning with Dooku, and then you have the same again with Obi-Wan, but Obi-Wan he pulls a trick to kill Grievous, yeah? So you know that Obi-Wan, where he may not be as skilled, he is willing to go that extra mile in order to get the victory. Yeah, and that's why he won, and it was all set up through. So when you got that decent through line through, and it happened at the end, it didn't feel out of place. It didn't feel.
This is why the Obi-Wan TV series really pissed me off, because even as an old man, Obi-Wan has those skills. I mean, he fucking kills Maul. He kills Maul in the deserts of the Tatooine. You see that in Rebels, and again that scene held more value, and it was diminished by that bloody Obi-Wan TV series. And it just makes me more mad because you could have done something so good with that TV series. You could have done something. You could have had Liam Neeson in it from the beginning, right? And you could have made it more about him searching for something that would eventually save the Jedi. That by him learning how to become a Force ghost and connecting back. Because at the end of the day, right, it is Obi-Wan, not Luke Skywalker, that is the hero. You know, because it's Obi-Wan that talks Luke through it, coaches him through it, right? You know, without that, Luke might not have won. You know, every moment where Luke falters, Obi-Wan's there to do it. You know, you have that when he's in the Death Star trench. You have that on Hoth. You have that telling him to go to Yoda when he leaves. You know, telling him to go back to Yoda to find out about his sister. It's all Obi-Wan throughout the whole fucking thing, right? And no other Jedi's ever done that. Why? And you could have explained that in the TV series. You could have had a load of Star Wars fans going, okay, this is cool. You could have had that link back to the prequels because Liam Neeson was a popular character. You could have had him right in there. And you could have done something, him going on a journey from there and something, you know, being at risk or at risk of finding Yoda or discovering that Yoda's alive or something like that instead of the shit that we got. It didn't need a Darth Vader showdown. It didn't need it.
No, it didn't need a Darth Vader showdown whatsoever because the showdown happened in the in Star Wars, and it kind of detracts from that. Oh, I haven't seen you in a while. It's like kind of, well, we met last week, didn't we? Yes, Backlash, if I remember correctly. I won. But coming back to it, it's what do you call it? It's a good film. There are bits that irritate the fuck out of me in it, and it's the best of the the prequel stuff. Yeah, it feels more restrained. The CGI is a lot better in it. There's still some iffy bits in it. Fucking episode 2 though, I don't know. Episode 1, when I compare episode 1 to episode 2, episode 1 feels really big and vast, and episode 2 feels like it's filmed all in the studio.
Episode 2 was weak, and it is by far the weakest. It's by far the worst of the 6. I hate the Jedi in the arena because it's just bad. And it's the quality of extras. It looks like they just went onto Sydney High Street and went, come be a Jedi, wear this cloak, wave a lightsaber around. And that's what they did. None of them were very skilled fighters. They were just waving their lightsabers around, and none of them looked like they were Jedi Knight. And it diminished the Jedi. And you're right. Yeah, the trouble is watching this, it makes you see that film for what it is. And it's by far the worst. And I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. But I'm still irritated by that one scene when he turns. And I think the trouble is, it is the most pivotal scene. And Dermot, like,
all right. So as I said, there's something else there that's not been explained to us. Yeah, what he looks like that is what he truly. No. I think that he'd spent, a good, 20, 30 years making sure he always looked the same to everyone.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, there's something else there. And if you also listen, there's some nice rumblings in there from when he's using the dark side, sorry. And it adds, but fuck it. You can forgive those. You can forgive those things. I felt more involved in the film. The word I call it. It's immersion, but people call it verisimilitude because it's wanky. But immersion. I was more immersed in this than I was in any of them. Didn't have silly little kid from the first one, even though I thought everything was done quite well at the time. Didn't feel like it was just strung together at the last minute like it did with Attack of the Clones. It felt restrained and all put together really well, and I enjoyed it, which I can't say I did the first time round, which I think I was pissed. Still, you needed to have Darth Vader fighting the Jedi, even if it was like a Marvel after credit scene. Oh my god, it's Darth Vader fighting. That's what we wanted. Anyway, we need to go. We need to figure out what we're doing next. Is the next lot of things that we're watching. Should be interesting. on that note, just gonna say a quick hello to how do you say that?
Castello Maserati.
Maserati. So hello to that Chuck. Hello, Chuck. Just because I didn't get around to the comments section. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. If you've been listening on the podcasts, our download's not working because we get 200 downloads like every so often in a day, which isn't quite right. So it's not there. So catch you later, guys. Thank you very much. Keith, pay attention, sunshine.
Thanks for watching.
Bye bye.
I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Laters.